London with mould in their homes are in fear of the health implications, saying they've developed asthma and other respiratory problems. Last month, the coroner ruled the death of 2-year-old Awab Ishaq from Rochdale was caused by prolonged exposure to mould. Well, our reporter Harry Lowe has visited a block of flats in Hendon to speak to residents there, who say their lives are being negatively affected by this issue.
Why should you have to live in 2022 going on to 2023 in this kind of situation? It makes no sense.
Residents at Rockfield House are bracing themselves for a winter of discontent. Helena is one of many fed up about mould and damp on this Hendon housing estate.
You're within your rights to live in a place where you're not scared to breathe in the air. That's the bottom line. There is a historic water damage in this block. Most of the people you speak to on this estate will tell you that categorically there's damp in their property, there's mould growing. Residents are blaming other residents when it's really the council's problem. They will not fix the problem.
Helena's not alone. Jordan moved in this summer and says the cold weather is making things worse in his one-bedroom flat.
I keep the windows open, but I'm seeing mould come out through the corners of the doors over here. I started seeing mold coming through here and that, but I cleaned it through, but I'm not sure what to do in that, to be honest. And obviously, I moved in here like 5 months ago, and I'm only now realising that this hair is coming through and that.
The first thing that hits you when you walk into most of these flats is the smell. It's stale, it's musty, and it's thoroughly unpleasant. And the thread that runs through all of the residents' concerns here is that they're not feeling listened to. Monique's being housed temporarily in a hotel with her 3 children. She says before her flat was repaired, her family's health started suffering.
It's just been a nightmare, stressful. My health has deteriorated. I can't breathe. My whole nose is blocked up. I can't smell. The kids are getting ill. I've had panic attacks at night time. I've passed out a couple of times. We shouldn't have to go through this.
A Barnet Council Home spokesperson said we will contact our tenants at Rockfield House to listen to their concerns and understand if they have any current issues with their homes that we can assist with. Barnet are aware that some of our residents are affected by damp and mould in their homes. We visit every home where residents report any damp or mould to us, and we take action as appropriate to deal with any issues as they arise.
It just makes me feel bad. Even now I feel like crying because my family and myself, that has just injured my health at this stage.
Harry Lowe, BBC London.
Next, families in London with mould in their homes are living in fear. Housing association and council tenants are having to live in conditions like this. It's unacceptable. It is an injustice and it is unfair. And if you fit into these categories, you can speak to dialerclaim.co.uk. They will give you a specialist who will not only help you get the repairs done, but they will get you some compensation too. This is really unacceptable. Plumbing, rodents, damp, leaks, floods, all of that kind of stuff is covered. Go to their website, dialerclaim.co.uk, and find out if you can claim now. Housing association and council tenants are having to live in conditions like this.
The council might refuse to house you if you do this. Some people stop paying rent or refuse the property to speed things up. But under housing law, this can make you intentionally homeless, meaning the council has no duty to house you. Always get advice before making big housing decisions. Comment help and follow me for more housing advice, and click my bio and get my housing guide. The council might refuse to house you.
Housing association and council tenants, have you heard the news? Well, you have a right to compensation, and guess how you're going to do that? In simple, if you are living in a house that has disrepair, it's not fit for purpose, and it's been more than 3 months since you've been complaining about it to the council or the housing association, and they've done nothing about it, you can claim compensation. No, seriously, what are you waiting for? Do it. Do it now. Get to the front of the queue, because there's going to be plenty of people complaining about the same problem, because this is not new news. This is old news. Now people are doing things about it because you have got a voice and you have got a right. You are going to need the best representation, and that is only from dialerclaim.co.uk. Details are included. Housing association and council tenants, have you heard the news? Have you been suffering in silence? Weeks,
Months,
sometimes years, of damp,
mould,
leaks,
broken heating.
or hot water that never work, while the council or housing association landlord keeps promising they'll sort it soon?
Housing Disrepair Helpline.
We don't believe you should wait one more day.
That's why we're open 365 days a year.
Yes, even Christmas Day. We'll connect you with a housing solicitor.
You can finally push your landlord to fix the issues they've ignored.
Your solicitor will also get you compensation.
Up to £43,000.
Your home should be safe, warm,
Livable.
and whenever you're ready to take the next step, whether it's today, tomorrow, or Christmas morning, we're here.
Council housing in the UK is supposed to offer tenants safe and well-maintained homes, but unfortunately that's not always the reality. From leaking ceilings and damp walls to broken boilers and long waits for repairs, many tenants are living in unacceptable conditions. These issues aren't just inconvenient, they affect your health and quality of life, but you don't have to accept poor conditions. Recently, the government has put a focus on housing conditions and are pushing for councils and landlords to uphold their obligations. As a tenant, you have the right to live in a safe and habitable property. Your council must maintain your property and deal with repairs in a timely manner. If your council fails to meet these standards, then you can be entitled to compensation. Speak up about your living conditions. Contact us today to see what we can do for you. For more useful tips, don't forget to like and follow. Council housing in the UK is supposed to offer tenants safe and well-maintained homes.
Council.
Housing benefit and council tenants. I did a post recently about disrepair. There's a few things that you need to know, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they are so you can prepare yourself. First of all, the claim needs to be, as in the repair in your home needs to be more than £1,000. Also, you would have had to have complained for a period of 3 months in order for you to qualify for compensation, right? So you have got some sort of evidence of pictures and emails that show that this repair of over £1,000 has been going on for a period of 3 months. Plenty of pictures and correspondence and records, anything that you can put together that you can give to dialaclaim.co.uk so that they can put your case forward in its strongest light and get you the compensation. So remember those 3 things: £1,000, 3 months, and loads of communication and pictures. Dialaclaim.co.uk are waiting for you, so go now. If you're a tenant in the UK,
a vulnerable council tenant in East London has launched a $2.5 billion counterclaim after a county court granted a possession order against him. On 2nd July 2025, Romford County Court ruled in favour of the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham against Sam Alatish, a black African man of Nigerian heritage who is a tech entrepreneur and long-standing tenant with long-term health conditions, alleges systemic discrimination, serious housing disrepair, and human rights breaches. Mr. Alatisha says he was unrepresented at key hearings, faced unreasonably short deadlines, and that vital evidence was ignored, including his $2.5 billion counterclaim. He has now appealed the decision and applied to suspend enforcement. Housing campaigners say the case raises serious questions about evictions of vulnerable tenants.
Paul's video admit to say, sorry, this is an AI one. None of the other videos are, but she's like to be a real case. Because, you know, this is the case so much. You hear about it, you know, on especially on TikTok. I've heard about, you know, I hear about this all the time, you know, these days. On with the video.
This is 2 Gist News, bringing you stories that matter. Lots of council tenants. Today I'm unpacking a controversial new law which is shaking up the social housing scene. So the law I'm talking about today is the Social Housing Regulation Act 2023, and it was inspired by AWAB's law, and it's causing quite a stir because it's radically changing how landlords handle housing defects. Now, what this law forces landlords to do is to comply with the strict new guidelines for all 29 hazards, and that includes hazards such as damp and mould. Now, landlords now have just 14 days to investigate defects, and then they only have 2 days after that to report back on those issues. Now, for serious matters,
action will be required within 24 hours. So that sounds good, but what if landlords can't make properties safe within those timeframes? So what the law says is they must then provide their tenants with alternative accommodation. But some are asking whether or not this is practical, or would it be a logistical nightmare for tenants and landlords alike? Now, tenants can also now drag their landlords to the county court for not following these new regulations. So they won't necessarily have to follow a lengthy complaints procedure, which some are saying is going to empower tenants or potentially open a floodgate of legal troubles for landlords and potentially back up the courts, right? So that's the scoop. So I highly recommend you read the Social Housing Regulation Act 2023. It might be a huge breakthrough, but it also might be a huge bone of contention. So let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you think that this would help or hinder the housing landscape. Really, really interested to know your thoughts.
Lots of council tenants